First, I'm joined by head football coach Coach Williamson. Coach, welcome to Titan Table Talk for the very first time. Welcome back to Illinois Wesleyan. How does it just feel to be back in Bloomington?
Great. It's exciting for me, for my family, for the new coaches that are on staff. Some also familiar and used to be able to call this place home as well, whether that's their undergraduate or coaching before. So it's been a really warm welcome, and I feel like we've hit the ground running, being able to be here before and kind of knowing what to expect at minimum, knowing the structure of the campus and a lot of familiar faces in the athletic department.
Yeah, can you kind of intro your coaching staff a little bit? Obviously some familiar faces, like you said, with your defensive coordinator specifically, but if you just kind of want to talk about the brand new coaching staff, who you're bringing in.
Yeah, we'll start with Coach Murray. He's our associate head coach and defensive coordinator. He's an alumni, graduated in 1984 from here. He was one of many Murrays who went through Illinois Wesleyan. His siblings obviously are still part of the institution as well. And our offensive coordinator is Eli Kasanovich. He came from RPI, but he's very familiar with Illinois, being an Elmhurst York graduate and having graduated from North Central. We have two coaches that were previously on my staff at Roosevelt, Thomas Flood and Tyler Holte, both again familiar with non-scholarship football in their playing days and coaching days, and have roots in Illinois with another alumni connection. Coach Flood is the younger brother of Keely Flood, who was an offensive lineman here from 06 to 10. So those are the full-time coaches that have come on board, and we have several other members of the staff that are really working hard. And again, we're off to, I think, a really good start.
Obviously, school just started, but you've been here a couple weeks with fall camp and everything. What have your initial thoughts been on just fall camp as a whole so far?
It kind of goes back to the spring, so we want to really set a foundation in a lot of different areas when you're new, and that started in the weight room with Coach Flood, with Coach Holte. They were the first hires to be able to start, so they started really in the spring with that foundation in the weight room, and then that trickled into spring practice for us. And then that has really led us into the fall, again, being able to hit the ground running. It's always new for new players, whether they're freshmen or transfers, but they've done a really good job of, the returners have done a really good job of springboarding those 14 practices in the spring into our fall foundation as well. So it's gone pretty smooth. We still have a ton of work to do. We've got to get a lot better, but the players are really working hard.
Yeah, and can you talk about your returners a little bit, specifically your captains? You have a couple juniors who have played a really big part in the Titans' success in the past. Can you kind of talk about them a little bit?
Yeah, defensively we have Matt Hansen and Joey DeMaio are both returning players. Saw a lot of snaps last year. They're captains and again have done a great job, elected by their teammates in the fall, and have really fulfilled those responsibilities on and off the field. Helped a lot in recruiting. Just done a really, really good job. And then offensively we have two running backs, Jahari Scott and Danny Kent, and then the returning quarterback, Dermot Smyth. So all five of those young men, along with our leadership council, have done a really good job of understanding that we are setting a foundation, what that means day in and day out. And again, that's not just on the football field, that's in the classroom, in the weight room. The team had over a 3.0 GPA in the spring. So really understanding that when we go talk about our ethos, how we do anything is how we do everything, and that just means we're going to put full effort towards anything we do, and they've displayed that, I think, and really represented the group well.
And kind of the reverse of that, how have you seen the freshmen new faces kind of acclimate to this first week of school, and how have you seen kind of the leadership, like you just said, kind of mentor them a little bit?
So it's kind of a combination of everything we just discussed, the positives about the returners, but also just 14 practices, right? Just a couple months in the weight room, so relatively new for everybody. So I think that gives new players and freshmen a more advantageous acclimation, because everyone is still relatively new to each other. So it's not somebody who's been here for 4 or 5 years and they know everything going on. So I think that's made it easier for the newcomers to acclimate and to to understand that we're going at a little bit of a slower pace than we would if everyone would have been here for several years. So I think that's allowed them to settle in. It's always, the first day of school, and that first week of school is always tiring. I think if you're from kindergarten to a freshman in college, it's always, unique. But they did a good job handling it last week.
There's a lot of turnover from last year, graduated a ton of seniors, especially on the defensive side. Can you talk about how, some of those new guys are going to have to step up defensively especially?
Well, the exciting part about a huge class is you do have a lot of returners that didn't have a lot of reps, meaning their pursuit of their opportunity is on full display. So that started in the spring, just the excitement of, it's my turn to compete with a lot of reps. When you think about it, I want to say even certain position groups last year, like receiver, was 6 deep in seniors. So not only their opportunity to contribute on offense or defense, but really their opportunity to contribute on special teams as well, because the roster was so senior laden. And so just that enjoyment, that excitement of, hey, my chance is finally here to get some more reps and compete was definitely evident when we first got here.
What are you guys going to work on this week, or what do you have to do when you get to Saturday against Central?
Well, our first game prep week, like you mentioned, really, really physical work this weekend. Kind of the first time of a full physical makeup to the ground with everybody cutting, all those kind of things. So that was really good film to watch. We're excited for the extra day without classes as we sit here on Labor Day to get some work done for the prep versus Central and have that extra time. But it really comes back to what we do. We've got to focus on what we can control and how we operate, regardless of the opponent. And so that'll be emphasized in our film review today, in our walkthrough today, just to focus on the things we can control. And really, we talk about a lot, you can't be in the fight if you're beating yourself. So just the fundamental things of taking care of the football, making sure we're securing our assignments, tackling properly, just those basic things will help us compete with a really good team like Central.
Is there anything that kind of stuck out to you about this team, seeing some live play with the scrimmage on Saturday? Anything about this team that necessarily stuck out to you?
I just thought it was a group full of energy, full of, again, they've displayed that, hey, this is our chance to get on the field. And a lot of players, we just talked about in our staff being a lot of players first time versus somebody else at the varsity level since high school. So you could see them, just the excitement of getting out there and having that opportunity was really evident. And I thought they did a good job of controlling themselves, not getting too excited, regardless of assignments or penalties. But the juice, the energy was pretty evident and I thought pretty awesome on Saturday.
Senior day on Saturday, obviously. You haven't been with these seniors for 4 years, but what has kind of their leadership meant to this group?
Well, I just think seniors in general at an institution like Illinois Wesleyan, what an accomplishment to continue to persevere through the athletic schedule, the academic rigors of a select institution. Not everybody who applies gets into school here. It's not easy academically. So the hard work they put in all these areas, it's a pretty special thing, I think, to make it to your senior year as accomplished as these guys are. So we're just going to really, Saturday is the kickoff of celebrating them all year. That's what the best part about doing senior day as the first home game is hey, this is your year. We don't have any winter weather yet. There's no games under our belt. We're just the beginning of a celebration for them and their families, because it's not just them. It takes a lot of sacrifices from families to make sure people get through college in their senior year, and a lot of ups and downs. And so it's a really good group. It's a core group in terms of our heartbeat on the team, and it's going to be nice to start the year off celebrating them.
What are you most excited about as far as starting the season at home in this community that you so wanted to come back to?
That's a great question. The most exciting thing, I think, is for me, just competition is always just unbelievable. If me and you are playing cards here, if we're on the field playing football, just competition is, you just love that part of it, or you wouldn't be in this industry, because you compete at everything. And so seeing the boys compete, seeing a group of young men come together and try to do something really hard. It's really hard to do when you compete at the college level in sports. So see them working together as a group, having a new identity. Each team is new, no matter if you have a new coach or not. So just kind of see them establish that and form that is going to be exciting to put on display. Where there's no redos, there's no whistles. Say, oh, hey, let's run that again. It's for keeps. So you hate to think that what we see in practice might not be accurate, meaning there might be some gamers, but you're also excited to see who those gamers are.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Coach. Excited for a good home opener on Saturday, September 6th. That is against Central. Kickoff is 1 p.m. at Tucci Stadium. Coach, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
They say every challenge holds an opportunity. At Illinois Wesleyan, you've got the power to seize it. Here you'll find the tools, mentors, and real-world experiences to take on any challenge and become the person you're meant to be. The best college in Illinois for landing a job? You're looking at it.
Tap or click now to start your free application
and break through at Illinois Wesleyan University.
Welcome back to Titan Table Talk. We are joined by junior captains Joey DeMaio and Dermot Smyth. So you guys have had spring ball and a full fall camp under Coach Williamson now. How would you kind of describe his coaching style? This is for either of you.
Yeah, I would say he's eager to win. I think that's a good thing about him. He's very passionate about the sport, which is awesome to have from a coach. It's something that we saw with our previous coach. He was very passionate about the team, and Coach Williamson is also very passionate about being a Titan. So I think he's brought that mentality in, and he's trying to have everybody have that same mentality and setting that standard for all of us. So that's been awesome so far.
Yeah, he's definitely very detail-oriented. Wants to come here and win right away, and brought a great coaching staff with him, which is awesome. So we're really excited.
Yeah, how would you guys kind of even further define the culture of the program in the short time that you've been here?
I think definitely right away when he got here, he kind of made it known that we're going to work very hard. Definitely in the off season, we were working very hard, especially like Friday mornings, early mornings. We were grinding every week just to be ready for the season. So just kind of the put your head down and work mentality that he brought.
Yeah, I agree. I think he came in with the mentality just like wanting to set some standards for the whole program that were non-negotiables. For the guys, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. He wants guys that love the sport and love the team, and that's been pretty evident, and I feel like everybody's hopped on board with that. So it's been awesome to see just the progression from the spring to now.
You guys were both voted captains by your teammates. What does that kind of mean to you?
To me, it was a big achievement. I think it's awesome to be voted captain by my teammates, seen in their eyes as a guy that can lead them. I take it as a big responsibility. I don't take it lightly at all. I want to be the leader that they saw me to be during the spring, and I believe I can do so during the season for them, just being vocal for them on and off the field.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest achievement you could have here at Wesleyan. Just knowing that your teammates trust you and that they're putting it on you to lead them to go win football games. It's definitely really cool and something we don't take lightly at all.
Joey, the defense kind of lost a lot of starters last season to graduation, a lot of players in general, but especially on the defensive side. What did they kind of teach you, and what did you learn from them the last couple of years?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing we learned from them is just how to be good teammates. It's always going to be different when you're on the field. You're always playing different people. Everybody loses people at the end of the year. But you really just need to know how to control yourself during those big games. And I think that's what they showed us, just that mentality like, okay, let's stay calm when maybe there's a turnover on offense, or maybe let's stay calm when we're up big. You still have to play well. You can't, take your foot off the gas type of thing. So I think that's the biggest thing they taught us, is just that mentality of, we still need to win this game and look at it as 0-0 at all points of the game.
And then obviously new defensive coordinator this year, someone with a lot of experience like Coach Murray. How have you adapted, or has the defense in general kind of adapted to his style?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Coach Murray came in with the mentality, honestly, adapting to us at first, which he's done very well. I think our defense looks really good right now. I think all the guys kind of have their own roles, and we have guys in multiple positions being able to be versatile, which is awesome. It's super cool to be able to play like 3 different positions and have it in 3 different formations and stuff. So I think he's done a really good job of just adapting to us, and then us adapting to his new style. Kind of a different defense than we ran last year, but I think it's going to work out well for the guys that we have.
And what kind of has been the key to getting these newer faces, obviously a lot of them on the defensive side, getting them ready for game time on Saturday?
Yeah, I would say it's just constant reassurance. I think all these guys last year that may have not been playing or were rotators, I think they all could have played at some point during the season. I think we have a junior-heavy defense for sure, but I think a lot of us for sure could have played last year a lot more. And I think it's just that reassurance that you are able to play, you're going to be ready for it, just that confidence that they need going into game 1.
Yeah, and then back to the offensive side, Dermot, you're entering your 3rd year as starting quarterback, obviously the first in Coach Williamson's new system, but you have a lot of key weapons alongside of you that return. What has been kind of the key to translating that chemistry that you've already built with them into a new system?
Yeah, it's definitely just getting used to the new offense, just getting as many reps as possible with these guys. It's definitely the key. Just working hard every day to build that chemistry back up again.
Yeah, you have a lot of depth in the receiver and running back roles, kind of with Will Naza and Mikey Barnes. They don't have a ton of game experience, but kind of talk about them specifically a little bit.
Yeah, they don't have obviously a ton of game experience, but they've been working really hard all off season. So we know we could trust them anytime going into this game. So we're really excited to see what they can do.
What have been some things that you've noticed during camp that you're really excited to see how they translate kind of into a game environment?
We're really excited just about the O-line in general, kind of establishing like a run-heavy mentality. We want to pound the rock, and so we're really excited about that.
What did you see from kind of the live play this past weekend that I guess you hope translates to a game that you hadn't necessarily seen during regular practices?
Yeah, we're really excited. Just obviously we got to play a new opponent last week, so that was big. Just being able to hit somebody else, and then definitely just the wide receivers making plays. Mikey made a couple of big plays. GB made a couple of big plays. So also Coop King. So we're really excited to see that translate to this next week.
This is kind of for both of you. You both have played Central on opening weekend the past 2 years. What is kind of the motivation to finally get it done this year against them?
Yeah, I could go first. I would say for me, kind of sucked last year. Wasn't able to go because I was hurt. So that was a big thing. I just really want to be able to play these guys. I think it's exciting playing them. It's a really good test week 1. They have a interesting scheme, which is always fun to play as a defense, and I think they're a great team, so it's going to be a good test for us, and I think we can get the job done for sure. But seeing what they did to us the past 2 years, I think we need to have that motivation going into the game and get the job done this year.
Yeah, they've definitely had our number the past 2 years, so we're really excited to go out there and really compete. We know they're very well coached, very physical football team, so we're going to have a great week of preparation in order to go win this game.
And how exciting is it to play your first game at home at Tucci Stadium?
Super exciting. I'm really excited to get in front of everybody. My family's coming down, back in front of my friends that are, not on the team and stuff, so that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I'm pumped. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be a ton of family, a ton of alumni coming back to see this new Coach Williamson era, so we're really excited to be able to play in front of everybody.
And then finally, Saturday, not only the season opener, also senior day. What has this class kind of meant to you guys as leaders, teammates, friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could go first. Mo Khalil, for sure, big reason I came here. Another Lamont guy for me. He, helped me throughout the whole recruiting process. These are the guys that were kind of the ones that we were with on our overnights or official visits and stuff like that. So these guys have for sure done a lot in that aspect, and for sure good leaders, just showing the mentality that you need to have to be successful at this level.
Yeah, this senior class is just a great group of guys that are awesome to be around, but also great leaders for us and for this team. So we want to do whatever we can to just send them off on a great note.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Good luck this Saturday. Kickoff is 1 p.m. against Central at Tucci Stadium. Thank you.
Thank you.
When competition for the best jobs is fierce, how do you set yourself apart? Experience? An education? Yes, but not just any education. At Illinois Wesleyan, we prepare graduates who break through the noise, who run the boardroom, the classroom, the lab, the stage. The best college for jobs in Illinois is right in your own backyard. Reach further, dream bigger, and break through at Illinois Wesleyan University.
All right, welcome back to Titan Table Talk. Next, we have head women's volleyball coach Kim Nelson-Brown. Coach, welcome to Titan Table Talk.
Thank you.
First of the season.
Love it.
Thoughts on the weekend that you guys had hosting the first tournament of 3 this season, going 3-0. Your first 3 games, how does it feel?
Good. This was the first time in my 30 years that we actually hosted opening weekend. We typically would go on the road and then host the second weekend, so a little bit different. But if we can host and go 3-0 every year, then I would love that, right? But it was nice to be at home, to have that home opener. And I thought, Earlham was a great test for us on Friday night. I'm glad that match was Friday night. To go 5 in our very first match of the season is a true test of where we are physically and mentally. And I think there was moments where they pushed us and we kind of challenged and matched that. And there was times they pushed us and we didn't challenge that. But when set 5 came around, we found a way to win that one and close out the match. So that was good. The 2 on Saturday, obviously, Greenville is traditionally number 1 in their conference. So we know they've got experience going into the NCAA tournament every year. In Chicago, obviously, last year we went up to them. We have a great relationship with the coaches there. And we always play home and away. So home this year, away next year. And last year we went up there and did not play well at all. So it was great to see us come out of the gates firing, so to speak. And really, with the exception of the first set where we kind of were back and forth, it was really good.
Yeah, and how do you guys obviously made it the furthest you ever have in program history last year, making it to the Sweet 16. This year, obviously, national championship being hosted in the Shirk Center at the beginning of December. How do you manage expectations with your group, kind of manage that excitement so early in the season?
I think the big thing is we've always talked it's one step at a time. And so even though you could sit here and say, oh, we got to, this before this weekend it was, I can't wait to play Chicago. Let's not skip the other 2 matches that we have before that. So it's about being present. It's about being in the moment and really just focusing on the team that we're going to play next. And if we can focus on that process and focus on that step by step, things will take care of itself.
Can you talk a little bit about the seniors on your team? You have such a great group. Obviously, Kannyn recording her 1,000th dig as a transfer, Hannah as a transfer, and then French and Reagan, obviously. Can you just talk about them as leaders a little bit?
Oh, yeah. They're all leaders in different ways, which is good. We don't need all of them to be the same. Reagan, just happy to see her on the court. She's battled some injuries the last couple years. To have her healthy, knock on wood, and to be able to get her in this weekend, just a couple moments was good. Love seeing her in a jersey. Like I said, it's been a couple years of some rough times with her, but she brings energy. She's kind of the hard person on our team in the sense of she can have those hard conversations. She says it how it is, and every team needs that. You've got Kannyn, who has that energy. She's student teaching right now, so trying to balance the student teaching and that is tough, but she's handling it great. And she adds, I think both her and Hannah are two of our captains, and I think they bring different perspectives because they come from a different school. They can bring some other components to the leadership table, basically. And then French, obviously, her play. But even this year, we've seen just a different leader from her in the sense of taking charge and really wanting to be successful in everything that she does this year. And so it's just been fun. I think we've got a really strong core seniors.
And then kind of the reverse of that, you have a really talented freshman class. They really showed up this weekend, especially Lauren O'Brien in the setter position, and then Carly Whitaker was excellent, especially the second day of that tournament. Talk about their class just in general.
You always have hopes that they're going to come in and make an impact, but you never know because the transition into college is different. They're away from home. The first couple weeks is very overwhelming for them between going through double sessions with a new coach, new program, new teammates, and then being away from home. So there's just a lot that goes into it. And Carly and Lauren, all of them, there's 6 of them, and I think 4 of them saw the court this weekend. All of them are so mature for their class. And I also give kudos to my upperclassmen and my returners because I think this freshman class came in comfortable with everybody, and that's the conversations that they're having on their own over the summer. And so they weren't afraid to ask questions during preseason, which half the time I'm trying to get them to open their mouths, and that was not the case. And so just to see them come in, and obviously I'm sure there were some nerves there, but they handled themselves perfectly.
And then you specifically, this is your 30th year coaching. What do you love about this place? Why have you stuck around? What makes this place special?
I think it's family. I think family in a lot of ways. Obviously, both my kids were born in August during preseason, and so to be able to balance being a mom and being a coach, but the family of our department, even though it's grown, it's huge compared to where it was when I started 30 years ago. We just have a really strong family component, and we know we have each other's backs. We support each other, and it just makes it fun to come to work every day. It never feels like a job, which is huge because then you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, and you talk about family. Literally, your daughter, Tyler White now, she switched color last names, but having her on the staff, how fun has that been in your career?
It's great. She knows the program. She knows the university. She is the sole recruiting coordinator. She makes all the initial contacts, and I think a lot of these players that are here on our team are because of her. And she knows the drive, the passion, the athleticism that we're looking for. And so it's nice to be able to hand her the reins and say, go get the kids that we want. And she's done an excellent job with that. Obviously, being able to see her every day is fantastic too. I just left her house dropping off stuff and got to see the dog. So it's nice. And so we can have that relationship at work, but then also outside of work, we can put volleyball on the back shelf and be able to talk about other things.
Yeah, and you guys have a little bit of a break before you leave for a big trip going down to Texas. What are some things that you're kind of focusing on in practice this week to make sure you're ready for this weekend?
Yeah, we watched a lot of film this weekend after we got done. And I say we, our coaches, I'm sure some of our players have too. But, it's one of those things that we can't be satisfied going 3-0. There was definitely areas of weakness that we need to improve on. I think our serve receive started off a little shaky on Friday. I think we settled into it on Saturday a little bit more. Defensively, I thought we were pretty solid the whole weekend, so that looked really good. Blocking, we've got to do a little bit better job there. And our connection between our middles and our setters right now are off, so we've got to keep working with that tempo.
What are you most excited about going to Texas this weekend?
Texas is fun because we're going to see teams that we never see. And so I think we went to Texas last when Tyler was a freshman. So it's been a while. the coach at Southwestern, Don Flora, I've known since he was at Laverne years ago when I first started coaching. And so we've had a great relationship, friendship through coaching, and it's been good. We can reach out to each other in highs and lows of our lives and support each other through that. And so I'm excited to go down and see Don and his team, and it's just, Austin's a fun place, so we're going to have a good time when we're down there and enjoy it, but also go to work. But it's nice to just get out and play some different people that we don't see on a normal basis.
Awesome. Coach, thank you so much. Good luck this weekend. We'll be following along.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Why is Illinois Wesleyan the #1 school in Illinois for jobs? Maybe it's because we're the AND University. That's right, A-N-D. And here you can explore the arts and study in a pre-professional program, double major, and play a sport, do an internship, and study abroad. Your opportunities are endless. Set yourself apart with a degree from Illinois Wesleyan.
Welcome back to Titan Table Talk. We are here with women's volleyball players. We have senior libero Kannyn Boyd and then sophomore outside hitter Alex Bardouniotis. Guys, welcome to Titan Table Talk. Congrats on the 3-0 weekend. What are your overall thoughts, feelings? What was it like to finally play games?
I mean, it was a very, very exciting weekend. Obviously, you never really know how things are going to go because people have jitters and all of those first game things, but we came out really, really strong, and I'm really proud of the way that we played. And yeah,
it was an exciting weekend. I think Kim said it was like the first time we had gone undefeated at the start of the season, because I know last year that didn't happen, but it was a really good weekend overall. And team chemistry has been great so far, and I'm really proud of the team and how we played.
Yeah, I think especially since Chicago, was a ranked team, we had that chip on our shoulder going into it, and knowing that we could compete with them, and definitely was in our favor this time around when we played. So it was exciting to see.
You guys were obviously both a part of the run last year, where you made it the furthest in program history, Sweet 16. How's that motivation for you guys, and how do you want to build off of that this year?
I think, it is a lot of pressure, but we also have handled that really, really well in the past. And I think that we have the mindset that pressure is a privilege. And I feel like we really step up to the occasion every time that we're in those tight situations. And it really shows our grit, and just playing Titan volleyball is how we get through all of those tougher matches.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think our mindset this year and our mentality is that our pressure is a privilege. And we take that to the next level, and knowing that we got to the Sweet 16 last year and knowing that we're hosting the Elite Eight this year is just further driving us and pushing us forward to achieve that goal and even exceed expectations.
I was also just going to say, having a lot of our returners coming back is a really good feeling, and just knowing that, we've been in that spot before, and not that I feel like we're very prepared for what's to come this year.
Everybody's bought it. Even the freshmen. I think everybody really, really wants it this year. I know I do, and I know Kannyn does as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, how do you kind of blend that veteran group that was able to make it so far last year and have so much success with these new faces who are getting, playing time? How do you kind of blend that together?
I think that they've done an amazing job right off the bat. Doesn't really take a whole lot of effort on our part. I feel like we just do what we do, and they've fit right in. And you wouldn't even be able to tell that they're a newcomer. They just, fit right in.
Yeah, preseason they came in ready to work. They were doing so well, and I think that like Kannyn said, we haven't really had to pull them into anything. They've always been in it themselves, and they want to get involved, and they do so well in practice and in games and everything as well.
What do you think you guys learned about your team, especially that first game that did go to 5 sets on Friday night? What did you guys learn about this, not new team necessarily, but this new season?
I think the 5-setter, I think that was our jitters and getting the nerves out for our first season opener. I think that, we definitely learned hitter-setter connection, because I know, at least for the freshmen too, it's like the first time that they've actually played in like a game that's worth something in our season with our setters. I know we've done a lot of that stuff in practice and they've been doing really well, but practice and games are a different type of pressure, so them getting used to that, I think they did really well. But then also the team in general, I feel like just that it's like riding a bike almost, bringing back that trust, that bond, that communication in game time rather than just in practice, especially from last year to this year. I think we did a really good job of bringing that back and strengthening it throughout the weekend.
Mm-hmm. I also think that like playing 5-set matches really show like your mental toughness and like your ability to push through those tough times, and like I feel like our grit really came out. And yeah, I feel like it just came down to a lot of teamwork and trust, and it was really cool to see, you know, us pull out that 5-set win.
Kannyn, you recorded your 1,000th dig on Friday night. Very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What does that accomplishment mean to you, especially as a senior? Obviously, you started at a different school, transferred in. What does that kind of mean to you looking back on your career so far?
I mean, obviously, it's a really, really great accomplishment, but it really doesn't mean anything in the long term. We still have so many things ahead of us, and I think like milestones like that are a really cool thing and like a really nice accomplishment, but at the end of the day, like it's not going to win us the national title or not going to get us to play at home when it comes down to it. So I mean, it's definitely something that motivates me and maybe my team, but I think that yeah, it just kind of sparks a little something happy, I guess.
And Alex, you've had a career game this weekend, 18 kills. Sorry. How do you kind of build off of that? You know, having such a career game so early in the season.
I mean, when I looked at my stats after that game, I was texting my mom, and I remember being like, "Wait, 18 kills? I think that's new. Like, I don't think I did that last year." And she was like, "Yeah, you did." Like, I was like, "No." So, like, I mean, that's obviously really motivational. I worked a lot this summer, confidence-wise, skill-wise, and I, like, am really happy to see the work that I put in paying off, and I'm just happy to do it for the team, and the more points that we can win as a team, more games we can win, and get us down that road to NCAAs.
Yeah, and I have to bring up the national championship, obviously being held in the Shirk Center this year at the beginning of December. Kannyn, as a captain, how do you kind of manage it? Not expectations, but excitement more in the group, especially as captain?
I mean, I feel like we've all done a really good job of just taking it one game at a time, and we're really focused on like the small wins, because at the end of the day, when we have that, you know, I don't even know what it's, the magnifier glass just on NCAAs, we won't get there if we don't take these small matches more seriously, or as seriously as we do already. And so I think that we've just done a really good job of taking every single game as seriously as it is. And I feel like also, since we did so well last year, we have that target on our back, and we're very aware of that. And so, yeah, we've just, I mean, yeah, I think we're all just really, really excited. And yeah, as a captain, I don't really know. There's not a ton that I have to do on my end, because this team is all very, very bought in, and we all are on the same page as far as how we're going to get there. So,
and kind of, you talked about the team chemistry a little bit earlier. What sets this team apart in your eyes that will help you down the road be successful?
I think just like the camaraderie and like on and off the court, because I know like from last year, it was still really good last year, but this year, I mean, all of our freshmen are bought in. They came in bought in, and like they look up to the newcomers, and I think the returners, the newcomers look up to the returners, and they like, we set the example, and I know the captains have done a really good job, seniors have done a really good job, all of the upperclassmen, and I think our whole team is bought in, and that's what motivates our newcomers to come in bought in. I think that's just what's strengthening us and our common goal in mind.
Yeah, I also think that like something that sets this group apart is just the support in general. I feel like we're all, like every position group is very, very supportive of whoever's out there on the court, and we're all just trying to build each other up and make each other better in the long run. And I think, like, we call it our box, our bench is our box, and our box just goes so deep. Like, the starters are that much farther ahead than anyone else on the box or in the box. And so that's something that's really comforting, because you know that if you have an off game or if you're just not feeling yourself, like, we know that someone else will be able to come in and fill that role just as well. So I feel like that's something that really sets us apart from last year. Not that we didn't have it last year, but I feel like just goes even deeper this year as far as talent goes. And we had some really, really great incoming freshmen come in that are not only, you know, pushing us in practice, but also like competing with us and making the returners like really, I don't know, work harder to keep those spots.
Kannyn, you were talking about the full student athlete experience a little bit. You were able to join us because it is a holiday. Obviously, you're student teaching in third grade. So can you talk about that a little bit? Obviously, being in a fall sport, student teaching in the fall, how difficult is that, and how are you managing that?
I mean, in the beginning, it definitely took a little bit of getting used to, missing out on some of the team practices and the team bonding that we had in preseason when school hadn't quite started yet, but I was at school getting in the classroom and everything. So it took some adjustments, a little bit of FOMO, you know, feeling like I'm missing out from what the rest of the team is doing. But now that we're kind of in that schedule and routine, I feel like, I mean, it's been great so far. And the team is super, super supportive and knows that they don't fully understand what goes on during the day at an elementary school. So, I don't know, just having the support and the understanding from my teammates, and that's honestly what's been getting me through. So, and obviously, like, teaching is something that I absolutely love and adore, so that fills my bucket, and then it's such a privilege to be able to do both and go right into, you know, volleyball, where that fills my bucket even more. So it's been really, really fun, and I'm really grateful to be able to do both.
And then finally, both of you kind of talk about your upcoming trip to Texas. How excited are you to go on a longer trip this early in the season, see some teams that you don't normally see?
Yeah, last year we didn't travel states at all. The only travel we did was NCAA stuff. So this year, for me, I'm really excited to go to Texas. I think the whole team is too, because seeing that new competition and just getting that early on in the season to try to, you know, work out some of the kinks and perfect things for further on and compete at that higher level, because like Kannyn said earlier, like, we rise to the occasion, and a lot of times that means like we fall back to the level of our training. So if we practice hard, we play hard, then in those high pressure situations down the road, the NCAAs, we're going to be A-okay.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we're all just really, really excited to be able to travel as a team together. It gives us a new look at different competition, as well as just getting to travel outside of the Shirk arena. And I mean, not that it's easy to compete with any team on your home court, but it does give you that level of like comfort, and taking us out of our comfort zone a little bit is something that's going to challenge us, and I think it's good to do at the beginning of the season.
Definitely. I agree.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Good luck this weekend, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.